Hey, how's it going today, guys? This is the Football Frame of Mind podcast. My name is Brandon. Got my co-host here, Cam. Man, we have got some great NFL draft content. If you guys have not watched our last video, we'll leave a link in the description. We did the first 10 picks of the draft. Now, today we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to go picks 11 through 21, same style, alternating styles. It can really get complicated here because we're not doing trades, so it can get a little repetitive depending on like team needs and things like that. But before we go any further, how's it going, man? What you got for us today?
Hey man, I'm good, man. Posted up in the side room. You know what I'm saying? If you watch the movie Life, I'm in my boom boom room. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man. But seriously, man. Glad to be back a part of the podcast, man. So it's good to put this content out, man. Excited to have talk about the NFL draft, man. It's really cool because you know what I'm saying everything can change, especially with the draft picks and everything. I mean, with the draft trades and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
it's good to see, man. It was really fun. Kick off, my return with the draft because I really like the draft, especially growing up. It was really fun to watch, man. Seeing, your favorite players in college just take that next step. You know what I'm saying? So it's really cool, man. So I expect some surprises in this um edition of our draft, mock draft. So uh, yeah, that's it, man. Just excited. This is gonna be really cool.
Well, hey, it's a pleasure to be here, man. Thank you for all the subscribers. Thank you for all the people checking out our content. If you guys are not already subscribed, man, definitely subscribe. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment. We love the feedback. And if you are already subscribed, don't forget that bell notification so you never miss a video, any shorts, any content of any kind. You will always get notifications. Uh, but before we get into the content, let's just give a thank you to our sponsors. First of all, we just want to give a huge shout out to Off the Ball Network. We've been working with them pretty much since the beginning. It's coming up on a year here pretty soon. A lot of really good content creators over on that side. If you like anything sports, whether we have baseball just starting out, NFL, NBA, college sports, especially college basketball is very popular right now. The NCAA tournament is about to come to a close. Definitely check them guys out. We'll leave a link to their channel in the description. Definitely check them out, subscribe. Love those guys. Tons of energy and really good discussions as well. But our other sponsor is going to be BetUS. We've been with them for quite some time, one of the oldest sports books in the market. They can handle all of your gambling needs, like I said, whether it be like horse racing, baseball, football, basketball. If you want it, they've got it. We'll leave a link in the description for any kind of deals on bets or the price matching, things of that matter. But definitely, if you like sports gambling, check out BetUS. And if you have any kind of gambling addiction issues, they will help you with those issues as well. So, before we're just going to get into this content, we're going to do a brief overview of our first 10 picks from last week. So with the first pick, we had Caleb Williams going to the Bears. And I'll make sure to leave the board on the screen so you guys can follow along as well. We had the Washington Commanders taking Drake May with the second pick. Surprise, we had the Patriots taking J.J. McCarthy with the third pick. Still kind of surprised with that one. Marvin Harrison Jr. goes number 4 to the Cardinals. We have Roma Dunze going to number 5 with the Los Angeles Chargers. Brock Bowers 6 to the Giants. Michael Penix Jr. number 7 to the Tennessee Titans.
Hey,
Dallas Turner at number 8 to the Atlanta Falcons. Jared Verse at number 9 with Chicago's second pick of the first round. And rounding out the top 10 with the New York Jets selecting Malik Neighbors with the 10th pick. Definitely some interesting takes there. I really like this process because I feel like it's similar to a lot of these other mock drafts, but it gives us to be able to put our own personal spin on it. Because I don't know about you, and I'm pretty sure you would agree. A lot of these guys agree on pretty much all these picks, and I think it's good to kind of see a fresh set of eyes, different perspectives, and maybe just without any trades involved, and just see where things fall.
yeah, man. Having uh, a new perspective or different perspectives makes a debate really cool, man. Because if you say the same thing and then I say the same thing, it's not really cool. You know what I'm saying? Like you just sit there and say, "Well, yeah, I agree with you," or like, "Yeah, yeah, I agree with you too." Like that's not really fun. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, we can have the same ideas, but different ways of spinning it. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. So I know I surprised you with the JJ McCarthy pick, man. But I know you understood why I said it though. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I
So
agree.
yeah. So I know I kind of surprised you too with the gosh, what's his name? Man, we said to the Titans, Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I know that surprised you, but I'm just not sold on Will Levis. I'm sorry, I just not. You know,
I mean, I'm pretty on the fence about him as well. I think he's got potential. I think it all depends on what this new coaching staff and this new regime do with him. I mean, hey, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they have other needs that they could address, but I
yeah,
mean, I wouldn't be mad at them if they were to go quarterback. Some of these other teams, maybe so. But
yeah,
I guess
yeah,
we'll find out and see.
yeah, man. I mean, it's a lot of good players, man. I mean, this year, like so, like defense is kind of like not the best, at least for the top 10 anyway, because
Mm-hmm.
you unless you trade up to get a defensive player, like somebody really like Dallas Turner, or they really like Jared Verse, then they might trade up for him. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
Mm-hmm.
like, man, that's our missing piece or whatever. But I don't think the price of trading up would be worth it, if you know what I mean. Because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like you can find like depth later. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
And with the United Football League, how many guys we saw get signed after that?
Quite a
Like,
bit,
yeah,
especially now that they've
Turpin,
joined, those two leagues have joined. There's going to be a plethora of other talent that's going to come through as well.
exactly. Like Turpin for the Cowboys. Like, how important was he last year for them? Like,
Hmm.
special teams. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, man. So I'm excited, to see what they do, but also I don't really know, you know, what's gonna happen, especially with this quarterback, man, because
Hmm.
it's a really good ones, man. You know what I'm saying? So even with people have see, look at him trying to get in already, trying to get in. Right. So, but yeah, man. So we can get started, man.
Cool.
Don't worry about me. I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. Only thing I would say about this draft before we get into the picks, I think this year is a bit different. Man, it is a very rich draft class with the offensive line, pretty much primarily with offensive tackle. It's really deep with receiver, and they have some pretty good corners in this draft as well. Not as deep as last year's class, but I really feel like the strength is going to be like with the first like 10 picks is obviously quarterback, and then you're really going to see a lot of skill position players like receivers and a lot of offensive linemen. I feel like go in the first round for sure.
Yeah, man. Because like I said, offensive lineman is like one of the toughest draft positions to pick. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because even as a Bama fan, I didn't see Alex Leatherwood as a first rounder a couple years ago. Like I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was talented, very talented actually. But first round talent, I really didn't see it like that. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, even to have him at tackle, I really didn't. I thought he was more of an inside guy for real because he's big and kind of has some mobility to him. You know what I'm saying? So I thought he was kind of undersized for my liking at tackle. I like tall guys, and Orlando Pace, tall guys. You know what I'm saying? Who's the other guy that's really good? Trent Williams. You know what I'm saying? 6'8". I like 6'8" tackles, man, because
I
I
agree.
feel like I feel like having like not big though, but like like your boy from LSU, Whitworth, like
Hmm.
that. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, he probably picked up a lot of weight over the years. But when he first came in the league, 6'9", 6'10", bro, tough to get around. That's kind of how.
Long arm span, dude. They can reach everything. They can see everything, especially when you're on the quarterback's blind spot. Like that's a big asset to have for sure.
Yeah, that's how I like my tackles, man. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
Just and I like it's almost like a V. I like that's how I like it. My lineman, man, tall on the outside and big and compact in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Just piece it together so ain't nobody getting through, and then the outside you can't go around them, and you sure can't go through them because they gonna push you right inside. That's what make a
Sure.
good pocket to me. That's why I say it's hard to predict drafting linemen because everybody's philosophy is different. You know what I'm saying? What some people like is agile linemen, you know what I'm saying, who might be on the smaller side. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So they might like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool because that fits their scheme, man. But as you can see, sometimes it don't work out like that.
Hmm.
So that's just how I see it, man. But it's gonna be some interesting picks, man.
Yeah, I agree completely. I guess we'll see how the dominoes fall. But like I said, guys, we're gonna be doing picks 11 through 21 today, and then next week we'll be finishing out the first round. We're not doing second, third. I'm sorry, we just don't have the time and assets to be able to cover all of that. Although I would love to. But yeah, 11 through 21 today, and then next week will be 22 through 32. So uh, you have the honors, man. So with the 11th pick, the Minnesota Vikings are on the clock. This is a pick that has been consistently talked about in trade talks, but obviously we are not doing those today. So
Yeah.
what do you think if the Vikings are sitting at number 11? Who are they taking?
All right, so the Vikings are a interesting team, obviously, because they have no quarterback, right? So it's gonna be tough to start the season without a guy, right? And it's easy to say, oh well, they can just tank for the next guy, right? But you're gonna have to do something because I know Justin Jefferson, not Jordan Jefferson. I'm sorry, Justin Jefferson is not gonna be happy not having a quarterback to throw him the ball.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm
Not the
saying?
fact that they got Sam Darnold.
Yeah, but in my opinion, I don't really know what you do. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, you're already gonna have possibly all the quarterbacks taken. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you really do? And I think maybe you reach on somebody. You know what I'm saying? I think you take the best player available, bro. And I don't remember us saying anybody else as far as like Lyman or whatever. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
really thinking that since they don't have a quarterback, and I don't remember us saying um your boy Jaden Daniels. I don't remember saying him in the draft picks yet. I
No,
don't
he
think.
hasn't. Oh no, he fell. He
Yeah.
fell. Which,
So
hey, disclosure, guys, we don't think he's gonna fall. That's just how the dominoes fell this time.
yeah. That's just how
So,
I felt it because I feel like people are gonna look at his draft stock, and be like, "Oh man, that's why I feel like if he falls past the top three, somebody's trading up to get him."
hmm
That is my
I
thing
agree. I agree.
because there's gonna be a run on the quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
expect quarterbacks to probably go maybe one, two, three, which
Oh,
hasn't
dude,
happened ever.
definitely. That's definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like strongly
Yeah.
that that's gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where my thought process is coming. So when we went through all these picks, I'm like, I'm going off of team need, right? But if he slips past those three, this is where I think. So with the 11th pick, the Minnesota Vikings select Jaden Daniels from LSU, man. You know what I'm saying? Fully disclosure, he ain't gonna be there.
No,
so
he's
if
not
they
gonna be there.
So if they really want him, they're gonna have to trade up and get him. You know what I'm
But the thing
saying?
about
So
it is, like we said before, the Vikings, this is a viable pick that they're willing to trade to get into the top five. So technically, this could happen depending on like what happens. I strongly feel like May's going to go to the Commanders. So if May goes to the Commanders, it's really going to be the ball's going to be in the Patriots' court with what they want to do. And if they don't
yeah,
take him, I definitely see Minnesota trading this pick to get into the top five to get him for sure.
yeah, man. Like it's a possibility because I think he's gonna look so fast on that turf, man. Oh man, he's gonna look so fast, man. He's just gonna be running, man. Like and what's crazy is if you watch his college tape, right? He don't look like he moving that fast, but he pulling away from Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like watching Jerry Rice. If you watch all his highlights and stuff, he don't look like he running away from anybody or running past people, but he running away from everybody, bro. It's so fast, you know what I'm saying? So, and the fact
Mm-hmm.
that throw dots all the time, like it's not just he's a project player. He's actually a really good quarterback. That's really athletic, you know what I'm saying? So he probably going to be interesting because he's coming into a team that's really not that bad, to be
Just
honest with you.
defensively, they need help.
Yeah, and it's crazy how the Vikings like they started off with Mike Zimmer, right? And they
And
had
their
this
defense was legit.
and they just had no offense, right? And then you get the offense, and then the defense goes bad.
And now you done lost your key players on defense that were any good.
Exactly. So, this could be an opportunity for them to pick a defensive player. But I think you go quarterback. If he's available, you take him. So, quarterback for the Vikings at number 11.
I agree. I don't see this happening necessarily, but if the Vikings somehow are sitting at 11 and
Mm,
there's still one of those 4 or 5 guys, you're taking him. You're not rolling into next season with Darnold and that's it. Like for sure. I would
I
definitely have
agree.
picked the same guy. And I mean, think about it. I know Justin Jefferson declined his option, but
Yeah,
if Minnesota finds a way to get him, oh, dude, Jefferson ain't going nowhere. If you're able to secure a guy like that, oh, you
I
got your
agree.
franchise quarterback and you've got your cornerstone at receiver. And this is best case scenario for the Vikings for sure.
No, I agree, man. Like it's gonna be crazy, man. Like this draft is gonna be crazy, man. If my camera cut out, I'm just trying to get my notes back. That's all. I
Oh, you're
apologize.
good.
I'm
You're
trying to
good.
get my notes together. I'm trying to keep up with the draft picks, man. Some of these mock drafts are like garbage, and they got people that we already picked slipping all the way down. I'm like, bro, nah. So
Mm-hmm.
I try to look at other people mock drafts and be like, nah, bro, I wouldn't pick them. So I pick somebody else. I'm like, nah,
Oops.
bro, you set
Take it
them
with a
up.
grain of
For,
salt.
yeah, you set them up for failure if they take a player like that.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, man, I see. I mean, how many years we watched the draft and we seen somebody and you just scratch your head like, what? Why would you do
Yeah,
that?
quite a few. Mitch
Yeah,
Trubisky, Daniel Jones, guys like
yeah,
that. Like,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have never picked Daniel Jones, bro. Not that early. That
mm-mm.
that's like no disrespect. That's like taking EJ Manuel with the Bills, bro.
Yeah, that
Like,
was a bad one too. Or
like
Christian
no
Ponder.
disrespect, like no disrespect to EJ because EJ could ball, man. But EJ wasn't no first round quarterback, bro. He wasn't,
It's
man.
the same
He
thing with the
did,
Vikings with Ponder. He wasn't a
yeah,
first round
like
QB either.
Ponder. Exactly, Ponder was okay. He wasn't first round pick, man. Like when
Mm-hmm.
you draft a first round quarterback, you have to really understand that. All right, this guy, if he's not a starter in year one, he's gonna have to be starting in year two.
Mm-hmm.
It's like no argument about it. Like if you don't give him the keys in year one, then you gotta get him in year two because you only got 4 years for real on that rookie contract. And then you
Mm-hmm.
got the franchise tag, and then well, you got the 5th year option, and then you get the franchise tag. And then
Mm-hmm.
you might be able to franchise tag him again, but that's like 2, 3 times the league average or something like that. So you spending like $50 million on a quarterback that you don't even really believe it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you should have those answers within year 4. You know what I'm saying? If you have protected him, because you
Mm-hmm.
know how it goes. It's like, oh man, it's the quarterback's fault, right? But as a defensive player, he can't throw it from his backside if you're always getting hit. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be nothing left.
Mm-hmm.
So so that's the whole thing, man. But I think they definitely take a quarterback, man.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So with the 12th pick, the Denver Broncos are on the clock. Denver has quite a few options, with quarterback being one of them. But I'm going to
Mm,
be honest with you. I don't see Sean Payton taking a quarterback here. I think he's very confident in Jarrett Stidham, which I don't think Jarrett Stidham's a bad quarterback, but Denver's really hurting. They're really hurting at skill positions. They're
Mm,
really hurting in the secondary, especially when you're contemplating whether your number one corner is still going to be there or not. I think you really need to look at those skill positions and either address the receiver position or you need to draft you a cornerback two, possibly cornerback one if you end up trading him away. So, I mean, honestly, if I'm Denver here, yeah, with the 12th pick, the Denver Broncos select Kenyon Mitchell, cornerback from Toledo. I
okay.
think you really need to solidify your secondary, especially with a quarterback like Stidham. Yeah, but this draft is deep with receiver. You can go get a
Yeah.
receiver in the second round and still be a really viable option. So I think you need to shore up the secondary, especially if this offense is going to struggle to score points anything like last year. Because you got to
Yeah.
think they don't have Jerry Judy anymore either. So they're
Nah.
definitely hurting at receiver, but I feel like you really need to try to shore up this defense. So I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with receiver, but I think
Mm.
corner is the position of really need, and Kenyon Mitchell's got to be the best corner in the draft, in my opinion. So I've got them taking Mitchell, man, with the 12th pick.
Okay, so I don't disagree with them not picking a quarterback, right? Because at this point, nobody's left that's really worth a damn. You know what I'm saying? So no need to reach on a quarterback, right? But hmm, Mitchell getting picked by them, I don't know. I feel like they might go for a more established corner. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, you could go just from a not just from like a fanhood point of view. But I feel like they might respect the game of somebody who went to a bigger school.
Yeah, like a Terry and Arnold or somebody like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you would trust a guy like that that came from a bigger program. Now, don't get me wrong, Sauce Garner went high too, and he went to Cincinnati. But
Mm-hmm.
as you can tell, you know what I'm saying, it worked out, you know what I'm saying? But it don't always work out like that. So, but I think they could definitely go Mitchell because, looking at the success of Sauce Gardner, coming from a small school. You know what I'm saying? Cuz back in the day they probably wouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? It would have been, like maybe. You know what I'm saying? But now I think because a lot of players have transferred, you're getting a Power Five player at a little school.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. The school
Happens
doesn't make as much of a difference as it used to.
exactly, exactly. Remember, what's his name, bro? He was Cromartie's cousin, Dominic Rogers Cromartie. Remember him
Mm-hmm.
back in the day? He was at Tennessee State. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So he slipped, but scouts weren't as smart back then. You know what I'm saying? But he was really good though. He was really good. You know what I'm saying? So he carved out like a 15-year career almost. You know what I'm saying? Just
Mm-hmm.
being solid. So I mean, if you can keep Patrick Surtain the second,
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be really cool, man. I think if you can keep him and then have a guy that's young, you could create another, great duo at corner. You know what I'm saying? Like his daddy and Sam Madison. You know what I'm saying? Like his daddy and Sam Madison, bro. They was good, bro. That was tough with Miami back in the day. Pat Surtain, I guess Junior or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sam Madison, that was a great duo. So you can have, you know what I'm saying? You can have another one. So I think they got enough players to really make it happen. But I don't dislike that though. I don't dislike that pick.
Cool. Okay, brother. So you're up next, and we got I was about to say the wrong city. We've got the Vegas Raiders with the 13th pick. And up to this
Nah,
point,
bro.
all the good
We got
quarterbacks have been
Oakland.
taken. So
We got Oakland. They still Oakland, bro.
you
They
said
ain't.
Oakland in the last video. I almost said the same thing.
It's Oakland, bro. It's Oakland, bro. We ain't worried about it. It's always Oakland, man. It ain't Las Vegas is cool, but it's always
It's
It's
just a
all
cover up.
yeah, man. It's always ugly, but Las Vegas Raiders, man. So, uh, like I said, on this mock draft I'm looking at, bro, we already took Brock Bowers off of the list. He done got picked already, so they ain't
Mm-hmm.
nobody, man. So when I look at the Raiders, man, it's interesting, man, because it's a team that's on the rise, man. You know what I'm saying? They on the rise. Uh, but like I said, and realistically, they probably trade up and get a quarterback, right? But since this is just current time and who's been picked, I really think that if they don't trade up and they stay where they are, I think this is where you see the next cornerback taken, man. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? I don't mind picking a corner in this spot. So I'm gonna go the 13th pick from Vegas Raiders. I think they picked Terry Arnold.
Dang.
I think they picked.
I had him a
Hey,
little further
hey,
down, but that's a
hey!
good pick though.
You picked dude from Toledo. I was actually gonna pick him as the first cornerback taken as well, because I felt like people are gonna just not look at the stigma of just going to Bama or going to
Mm-hmm.
LSU or going to Ohio State. They're gonna look at who can ball and who can't. But this is why I put Terry and Arnold up there over Kool-Aid. Because yeah, Kool-Aid's good. Take it from a Bama fan, bro. Kool-Aid's cool. It's the name. He got the flash. But Terrian was the dog of the duo.
Yeah.
He was making tackles when he had to. He wasn't afraid to pick the ball off, man. Like he was aggressive with it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I think Terrian goes first, man. Just he got some nasty in him, man. And if you're gonna be with the Raiders, you gotta be nasty. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna have nobody that's out there flashy and all of that. They ain't with that. They trying to dethrone the Chiefs in that
Mm-hmm.
division. So it's not gonna take a finesse team to beat them. It's gonna be tough. And that's how they beat them in the regular season. You know what I'm saying? Being a tough, hard nosed team. So um that's always been the Raiders, man. So I expect them to go with Terry and Arnold, man. So yeah.
So before I move on to 14, do you see McKinstry going in the first round too? And if he does, do you think he go anywhere around here?
I mean, yeah, I think he'll go like realistically, I think probably go top 20. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
He's a top 20 prospect. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not many times you have three first round cornerbacks, man. But he's one of them. And Terry Arnold's the second one, and the dude from Toledo's right in that group. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
um you can't go wrong with either one of them. I just feel like his personality fits the Raiders more so than any other guy. You know what I'm
Makes
saying? So
sense.
and realistically, the Raiders probably won't be drafting here anyway. They gotta get a quarterback. But since the players available are this, you gotta get the best player available. And I think that's definitely Terry Arnold. Sure up the secondary, man. I mean, can't go wrong. I mean, the Raiders are probably 2 years away from really making some noise. So you got to replenish the running back room. Then you got to do some other things. But I definitely think we got to start with defense. Let's keep that tight, and then we can worry about quarterback, according to this draft.
Apparently so. Now, I
Yeah.
don't argue with that at all. I mean, I had him in that range right there between like 12 and like 15. So, I mean, I don't
Yeah.
disagree with you at all. So if we go to 14, we have the Saints with the 14th pick.
Oh, your team, what y'all doing?
They have a lot of needs. I mean, you restructure Carr's contract. You could reach for a quarterback here. I don't think you're taking a quarterback this early.
Nah,
But the main two positions of need, I feel like, are receiver because you really only have Olave. You have Raheem Shaheed, but you need a really good number two because I feel like Olave is being elevated to that number one spot.
I
Or
agree.
you really need help on the offensive line, man, because The Saints drafted, I forget his name, guy from Northern Iowa a couple years ago, the top
Mm.
10, top 10, top 15. He hasn't amounted to much. And then you have your all pro tackle and Ryan Ramczyk, who might never play again with knee issues. So I mean, I think if especially with Carr getting paid as much as he is, yes, it would be good to get receiver, but I'm gonna go back to they have a lot of good receivers. I feel like at this spot you really need to get a really premium offensive tackle. And they have plenty really good ones to choose from. And the one who I thought was going in the top 10, he didn't go in our top 10 because let me no, he didn't. So I
Yeah, I
had
think I
somebody
picked.
else. I
Yeah, I
had
think I
somebody
picked
else
Mims.
here. I had somebody else here originally, but the fact that he's fallen to pick 14, I've got to go with it. So with the 14th pick in the 2024 NFL draft, New Orleans Saints select Joe offensive tackle from Notre Dame. I think he's a premier offensive tackle, man. I think he's going to be a perennial Pro Bowler. Big, strong, good feet, good with his hands. Notre Dame is always known for having really premium offensive linemen, and the fact that he's dropped outside of the top 10, you could have went with a couple of other guys here, but I think
Yeah.
he really fits their scheme, and I think you really need a sure thing. You can't afford to be going in with a project player. You need somebody you can plug and play and can be an automatic impact and help protect your quarterback, especially with the money you have invested in Carr. I
Yeah.
really think you just need to go with the sure thing, and I think the sure thing is Joe Altman. He's fallen all the way to 14, and I'm going with him.
Okay, no, I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? You pay them all the money, car I'm talking about. So you might as well protect them. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no worse feeling. We see it in baseball right now. The Nationals got to pay Strasburg all that money, and he just retired. You know what I'm saying? So no need. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody want. That's the worst feeling in the world, having to pay somebody for doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I can imagine in our everyday life they don't want to pay us for doing nothing. So I guarantee don't nobody want to pay nobody a bunch of millions to not do nothing. So I
Hmm.
think they gonna try to protect them. So I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. I like that. I like that a lot. Plus, y'all defense good anyway, so you might as well.
Hmm. And they've done a lot for building up that defensive line. You got some young players, some good players, and then they just would sign Chase Young to a prove it deal too. So I mean, they're definitely improving even more on defense. So I just think the sure thing is protect your quarterback, especially you don't really have a sure thing with your backup quarterback situation. So I mean, I think you really need to protect him. But we're gonna move on. So now the Indianapolis Colts are on the clock with the 15th pick, man. They have a bunch of different needs. Who do you see going at 15?
All right, man. Like I said, man, I apologize. I'm trying to look on my notes, man,
You're
because
good. You're
that
good.
was that was interesting that y'all picked out, man. Because I think it's a couple teams on here that really need offensive linemen. And
Oh,
as I
dude,
look,
especially in this stretch here between 21, there's a lot of teams who need offensive line help.
yeah, man. So, if I'm the Colts, let me see. I think I'm gonna go the Colts, man. I'm trying to think of what they need, man. Like, so they already got quarterback in Richardson, so that's pretty cool. And you got,
Hmm.
I think Jonathan Taylor's still there, ain't he? So he's still at
Jonathan
running
Taylor's
back.
there, and they've still got Pittman at receiver. They just paid him.
Okay, so
If anything, they need help on defense, I feel like.
if I'm thinking, gosh, man. Do got a lot of needs, man, but they also have a lot of good talent, man.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna go with the best available, man. And if I'm thinking the best available player right now, I'm gonna go. I think they need help on the offensive line, man. So I like them taking somebody on the interior. It's a guy on here I just seen,
I
man.
think I know exactly who you're about to go with. I'd be
Yeah,
surprised if it's not who you're gonna.
yeah. So I'm gonna say they pick. Trying to think this guy. He play offensive lineman or defensive lineman? I'm trying to make sure. All right, yeah. So I think they pick Graham what's his name, man?
Graham
Graham
Barton
Graham Barton. Yeah, I think they take
from
Graham
Duke.
Barton from Duke. Yeah. From what I'm seeing, man, when I look through the notes I have on here, I think that'll be a good pick, man. Because from what I see, he can play center, guard, or either guard. So I think that'll be a good spot, man. Because you need some help with Richardson, man. Although he's a mobile quarterback, I think that he needs protection, man. Like you're gonna have to, like I said last year when he was drafted, like he could run, right? That's not a problem, right? We just need him to play quarterback. If he could get better at playing quarterback, because he can run, that's not going to change. So he has to be able to play quarterback better, man. That'll keep him from running so much. You know what I'm saying? So I think you protect him better than you take Graham Barton, man. And that'll be a good spot, man. I mean, right now, at this point, the best players are, well, the players that probably you would draft because you need at receiver, they're probably gone. You know what I'm saying? And it's too late in the game probably to be trading up for real at this point because the price will be too high at 14. You have to give up at least a second and at least a third. And then the value of player depends on the value of your scouting department. So yeah, you could probably get, a late round running back or tackle or whatever. But if you got a chance to pick an offensive lineman, probably want to pick them early. You know what I'm saying? Because the teams at 20 and 30 are going to get those guys. And those are going to be starting people next year. Because if anybody knows the NFL draft, right, the first 10 picks, right, are supposed to be starting at some point, right? You know what I'm saying? You can play the game of sit a guy behind somebody later in the first round. But eventually the first round dudes are supposed to be cornerstones of your franchise. Rounds 2 through 4, those are guys that you can put on the practice, well, not practice squad, but probably special teams or backups. You know what I'm
Backups
saying?
and get experience.
Exactly, but they 2 through 4 are supposed to be the next guy up, probably after your veteran player, or spend some time on special teams so you can see what you do. But you can take a project player 2 through 4. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because you can play around with that for a year or two. You know what I'm saying? Because he might not be a fit for your team, but then you get some free agency, and then you get a Pro Bowler like Austin Eckler or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, and then when you got rounds 5 through 7, that's when you can draft probably the best player available, right? That's where you
Hmm.
use that approach because the star potential is lower than anything else. But if you hit on it, guess what? You got a cheap contract, right? You know what I'm saying? A cheap Pro Bowler for the next few years. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I see the draft. That's how I see it, man. But at this point, the Colts need offensive linemen, man. So,
Yeah.
but they do best player available because everybody else that they need is probably gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, I wouldn't argue with that. If I wouldn't have went offensive line, I would have went for the secondary because their secondary did give up a lot of points and kind of hurt them at the end of the season. But I won't argue with offensive line. You got a young quarterback who's trying to develop. I think you need to get you a really good anchor. And him, I mean, he played center, but you can probably move him wherever you need him. He's
Yeah.
probably one of the more versatile offensive linemen in the draft. So I'm not mad at that pick at all.
No, no, no. Like I said, man, versatility is key, man. Especially if you draft a lineman. Like, say a dude can't play tackle, man. You slide him over, man, and that would work. You know what I'm saying? Versatility inside works better than versatility outside, in my opinion.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
Versatility inside works because you can slide a tackle, you can slide a guard to center, and then like your center to guard. But it's hard to go tackle to center or tackle to guard sometimes. It don't really work. But if you got versatility to play inside already, I think that's good. That's Gucci.
Yeah.
So yep, yep, yep.
Okay.
So I
So
got
with the 16th pick, we've got the Seattle Seahawks on the clock. If you guys aren't aware, Pete Carroll's no longer the coach. They have a first-year head coach trying to establish a culture, trying to find his guys, and really trying to get this team back on track. They
yeah, man,
still
they
have really
hate
good.
dog. They
Hmm?
hate, man. They stole our defensive coordinator, man. Straight hating. I don't even like them no more, man. And then they stole like the offensive lineman coach from Bama, like or something like that. Like they
Hmm.
stole everything from my team. So I wish all bad things on Seattle. Yeah,
So, I mean, Seattle still has some really good players. Like, I mean,
they
you
do.
still got an older Geno Smith, which you might be looking to maybe get your next guy up here. You never know. I mean, they've
Uh,
got good weapons at receiver too, man. I mean, you still got DK, you still have Lockett, you have JSN, you have some
um,
really good players on defense. I'm not sure if Bobby Wagner is still there, but I know some guys in the secondary played really good for them last year.
yeah,
And
they
I
got
just
good
think
players.
Seattle needs to be looking for the biggest possible like upside player here. Somebody that even if they don't necessarily get it run right away, they can get long-term success, especially at a valuable position. Especially with a first-year head coach, man. He wants to make an impact, especially with that first pick. So I'm gonna ruffle some feathers and I'm gonna change things up a little bit, man. So with the 16th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, I've got the Seattle Seahawks taking Bo Nix, quarterback, Oregon.
Oh man. All right, all right. I feel that. I feel that. I feel that. All right, I can see him being there, but that's like the last quarterback, bro.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the
no,
last
no, no.
one.
I agree. No,
That's
there's no other
that's the
quarterback in the
last
first round.
one. Because if you start drafting other quarterbacks, I think you're reaching at this point,
No,
man.
you're reach. I think Bo Nix go anywhere between this pick and probably like 20 to 25 at the latest. I don't see him falling into the second round because somebody is going to take a chance on him. Somebody's going to take a chance on his
Yeah.
collegiate success. He seems like he's got high football IQ. If he goes to the right situation, especially like a Seattle, they've already got good weapons. You can have a head coach that's going to run and really develop him. You get to sit behind Geno, you get to learn. And whether it be this year or maybe next year, you have a guy who already knows your offense. He's already got chemistry with the other guys. I think could really be a good fit. So, man, yeah, I think he'll be the last quarterback taken in the first round. I've got Bo Nix going to Seattle, man.
Okay. All right. So my pushback on it is right. All right. So you got Gino, right? And you gave him a contract extension, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it seemed like when Gino was out, Drew Lock was doing some good stuff too. So now you bring in Bo Nix. So now we got like a three-headed quarterback competition, bro. And all right, I know the preseason is not as long as it used to be, but if Bo Nix start playing real good, then it's like, all right, the fans, you know how the fans do, man. They're gonna want the guy to play, right? And if Gino struggles because he was good a year and a half or a year ago or 2 years ago. He was really good. You know what I'm saying? Almost like West Virginia good. That's how good he was playing, right? And then last season he had some injuries but it didn't look as good. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't as smooth as it was. So my question is, if they draft Bo Nix, what you do with Drew Lock?
I think you're trading him. I think his draft, not his draft stock. I think his stock is a lot higher. You could get assets back for him. You could get some other positions of need that you might not need to get into the draft. I think he looked really good, and you could invest in him. But I just think Drew Lock's at a point in his career where I don't think Seattle's willing to just invest in him. I think they capitalize on what he did last year, which he looked pretty good in the limited time he played. And you get some other good players back, draft picks, whatever you want to get. Like I'm not a Drew Lock hater, but I just feel like here, like you can't go wrong taking Bo Nix, and you can't go wrong trading Drew Lock to get more assets back. So
All right, now I can see that scenario too. I can see you doing that. You know what I'm saying? So if the my hypothetical is all right, so the season gets off to a bad start, right? And you want to start Bo Nix. So at what point do you trade Gino?
well, I mean, I don't know if you're trading Geno though. I was saying trading. I think if anything, you trade Drew Lock to get obviously get assets back. You're already gonna pay Geno, so I think worst come to worst, like you're gonna be with him for at least another year or two. Worst
Mm.
come to worst, so I think they're gonna hold on to him, whether restructuring his contract or whatever. I don't see them rushing to start Knicks. unless it gets really bad. And I just don't necessarily see
Yeah,
Seattle starting off that bad. But I mean, we never really know. But that's how I
yeah,
see it falling.
yeah. That's under this circumstance. That's how I see it going, man. I think you draft Bo Nix to sit if that's the way you're going, because that's how it's gonna be. Like
Hmm.
he ain't gonna play. He ain't gonna play, man. So this is if that's how I think they might trade this pick. If
Yeah,
real,
it's a
I would
possibility.
I wouldn't be
Depending on who's
surprised.
on the board at this time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like if both like we're going off of our draft, right? If Bo Nix is available, I'm thinking about trading, bro. I'm thinking about trading because there's probably going to be somebody left in that green room, man. That's really good, and this would be a good spot, man. Because the price of this first round pick ain't as high as it was in the
Hmm.
earlier part. So you might give up a third and a fourth or something, and then maybe a fifth next year. And I think that's overpaying. But if you
Hmm.
really want it, probably got to overpay a little bit. But as long as I'm not losing a first or a second to move up to 16, then I'm good. I'll trade that. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't getting no first or second for a late first round pick.
No, no, not a mid-round pick. But
No.
if we're looking at it like this, do you think that what do you think about the fit though? If things go like that.
Uh, man, I don't know, man. I don't like drafting first round picks to sit, man. And
Yeah, I
especially
mean,
and especially not third string sitting. Like
but I don't feel like if they take Knicks, they're gonna trade Lock. And Seattle's not in a horrible situation. Like they're not at the bottom of the barrel in that division, I feel like. So I think they can afford to draft him and let him sit. Especially if you're gonna trade Lock and get picks back. I don't see it necessarily being a problem. I could see like if it was a need, like you had to play him now, then
yeah.
no. I feel like that they're not necessarily in that situation. So I don't see the need to necessarily do that. But another team, I wouldn't do it with Seattle. I don't think Seattle's in the worst spot possible. Like even when they struggled last year, I still don't think they were a terrible team. So I feel like you can take the risk if that's the case.
So draft him for like the future.
Yes. Just let him
Okay.
sit for a year
Okay.
max. A
I
year
mean,
max and then
I guess it work. I guess it work. I mean, I can see it. I mean, he played in Oregon, so why Seattle's not that far away. So,
and that's
uh,
another reason too. Some teams want to try to do that as well. So I mean, you really never know.
yeah, so I mean, I can see it. I can see it. I guess that's a good pick, man, because that had me thinking, man. That's a good one. I wasn't expecting Bo Nix at 16, but I could see it. I could not see it as well,
Oh yeah, if he
but
doesn't go
yeah.
here, he's gonna fall a bit. Like if he doesn't go here, he's probably gonna fall. If he's still in the first round, probably somewhere in the 20 or so range. Maybe if he's a first round pick. But once you get to the tail end of the first round, nobody needs a quarterback right there. So that's how I see it.
No, I get that. No, that's cool. All right.
So
No,
you've got Jacksonville's on the clock at 17. What you got?
all right, man. So this ain't a wrestling show, but Tony Khan of AEW is an owner of this team, right? So he is more of like a analytics guy, right? So I'm gonna go with somebody who is more of an analytic pick in this situation. All right. So I'm gonna go with the Jaguars picking somebody on defense because I feel like they was okay offensively last year. They scored some points, you know, but I feel like they're gonna go with somebody out of the norm. Because remember a couple years ago when they were supposed to draft Aiden Hutchinson and they drafted what's his name?
Trayvon Walker.
Trayvon Walker, right? So I think they're gonna do that again. Somebody out of the norm that nobody really know about for real. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going the with the 17th pick in the draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select. I think his name is Latu or Leia Latu or something like that.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a
Leia.
good pick. That's a good pick.
Yeah, Leatu Latu from UCLA. So, all right. So, my thought process around this pick, right? I'm kind of spitballing sometimes, but I really like this as a thing because, like I said, I'm looking at a mock draft that's completely opposite from ours. But I think that this would be a good pick for them, right? Because it fits what they do. You know what I'm saying? It's an analytical guy, right? So it's not your sexy pick, but he's a productive player at the next at college. So he's so like productive, right? That you can think you're gonna get that production things. He's not like a workout warrior or anything like that. But sometimes being productive is a really good pick, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a good pick for them, man, because it's a team in a good spot. They underachieved last season. We know that. But you got quarterback good. You know, your offensive line is okay, which is another thing you could take right here. But I think defensively, they missing the pass rushers, man. Now, if you change your scheme, and I think you take, gosh, what's his name? He was drafted from Kentucky, Allen.
Josh
Josh
Allen.
Allen. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You take him and you put his hand in the dirt, then you don't take this guy. But if I'm mistaken, I think he's playing outside linebacker. So
Mm-hmm.
he's standing up. So I think you need another guy off Trayvon who can do both, stand up and put his hand in the dirt. Get another guy like Latu that is a pass rushing genius. He's really good, bro. And let him just eat, man. Let him eat quarterbacks, man. This is a spot that I think you take defensive lineman, and he's good, man. I think he's gonna be really good. So I think that's a good pick. Yeah.
I'm not mad at that pick. I feel like
Mm,
every other mock I've had, or not every other mock I've had, every other mock I've seen, everybody's got him falling to 19 to the Rams. Like literally everybody. So it's good to see him go a little bit earlier. And he's really
yeah.
underrated. Nobody's talking about him. And I think
Telling you, bro.
Jacksonville could really use that pressure up front to take wants to take pressure off their secondary, but also to give what's it called, Trevor Lawrence and that offense some help, man. Because I mean, they lost Kevin Ridley on offense. You still have Christian Kirk, you still have ETN. So I mean, yeah, they could definitely use some help getting pressure on the
Man,
quarterback, and
I
it'll
forgot
help their
about it.
offense, man. Take some of that pressure off of Lawrence, so they can at least be able to get some stops and whatnot.
Yeah, talk about that draft though, man. Like in the world of football, they always say a quarterback's best friend is the running game, right? How about that draft? You draft Trevor Lawrence and then you get his running back like right after that?
I was not. I mean, if it would have been me, I definitely wouldn't have done that. But hindsight is 2020. I
Yeah.
mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing when Cincinnati could have went offensive line. They could have took Penei Sewell out of Oregon, which was the obvious, really good pick because you're trying to prevent Burrow from getting hurt. But they're like, nope, we're gonna take Chase because you need that number one guy. You'll have the camaraderie, you have the chemistry, and why not?
Oh my God, but bro, oh my God, that hurt them in that Super Bowl, bro. Oh my God.
It
If you,
especially on the edge. I agree.
oh my God, if you would have drafted, because that's what I thought they were gonna do.
Penei Sewell.
I was like, bro, your quarterback just got sacked all season, bro, and then got hurt all season too. Like you need to protect him, bro. Like Chase gonna be good, bro, but you know you gotta get some protection, man. And yeah, they made the Super Bowl like a couple of years or a year after that or that year.
No, that year.
But you could have won that Super
Yeah.
Bowl probably with Panay because I think you might have been able to get another receiver or something like that. Like you could fit another person next to Higgins. It's not that hard, man. You can find another guy that could give you production, and the offense that they run is wide open. So you can put anybody in there as long as they can run routes and catch the ball. They gonna get at least 500 yards. You could do that. We're running five wide all the time. Somebody's gonna get 500 yards, man. It's simple, bro. But like I don't know, man. I thought it was pretty cool, man. But that's hey, man. That's why I said, man. Jacksonville defense, bro.
Yeah. Can't go wrong, man. I can't argue with that. But Since you talking about Cincinnati, we're gonna move on to pick number 18, and the Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock. An interesting offseason for them to say the least. Not a bunch of really big moves. I mean, you lose Joe Mixon and free, you end up trading Nixon. I mean, they do have some needs. I think the biggest need though is offensive line, man. I think moving forward, if you're going to compete with Kansas City and the Chargers and all these juggernauts in the AFC, you've got to be able to protect Burrow. Like especially when you've got T. Higgins
Yeah.
on a franchise tag, so you've got him for at least another year. I think you need to shore up your offensive line and go offensive tackle. So there's a plethora of really good offensive tackles, especially in the first round. Some guys that have fallen really far.
Really?
So
Yep.
I do not know how to pronounce this guy's first name, but I feel like his raw potential and just what he was able to do in the Big Ten was very impressive. So with the 18th pick in the 2024 draft, I've got the Cincinnati Bengals taking, what is his name? It is Fashanu, offensive tackle from Penn State.
Okay, for
Really
sure.
good
Okay.
prospect. He's got long
Yeah.
arms. He does need to work on his arms and like his techniques with his hands. But dude, he is a big body. They need another really good offensive tackle to protect Burrow, especially if they want to be able to get through the gauntlet of Kansas City and the Ravens and the Steelers possibly and the
Yeah.
there's a plethora of good teams in the AFC for sure. And I just feel like there's not another really good position on the board right now. I think you have to go offensive line. And I think you go with best player available. And I think Fashano's got to be up there with the two or three best on the board. So I've got them taking him with the 18th pick.
Nah, I like that. I'm looking at some of his numbers, man. He's got 6'6" in height, and he's 312, which is how I like it. I like it a lot. I like him just like that, like 6'6" and up, and about 310, 325. That's how I like my offensive tackles, man. So I like it, man. I like it. I think he's mobile enough to stop a guy like Mekhi Parsons, and I think he's big enough to stop a guy like Jonathan Allen. You know what I'm saying? So I like that a lot, man. So I think losing Mixon is a tough spot, man. And I was hoping maybe you would sneak maybe a running back in there, but I don't really know if it's any first round running backs. But I'm gonna surprise you because I'm putting somebody in that first round at running back.
I feel like I know
But
who it's going to be.
yeah, I think you know what it's gonna be, but I ain't gonna spoil it yet. But I like Cincinnati taking for Shadow, man. Like I said, I like his size, man. So it's a pretty good one. I thought you was gonna go a different lineman, but I like that pick a lot, which is crazy because Cincinnati just spent like $50 million like a couple off seasons ago on linemen. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
no, yeah, they
So
got Orlando Brown, and I think they signed Trent Brown. But I mean, it doesn't hurt to have that good depth in case one of those guys goes down. You got another big body to plug and play right there. So
yeah, and I would, and because he's 6'6",
you
I
could put
would.
him, you could slot him in at guard maybe if
Yeah,
that's
you can
really a
slide him
need.
on the inside, man. Yep. And that'll be really good, man. Because like I said, man, like I said, we talked about it last season. The running back position is devalued, right? So you're gonna find depth at running back later. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna find a guy that you can get a ball to that's good. You know what I'm saying? Now, everybody's not gonna be like the Patriots where you got four running backs that do four different things very well. So you're not gonna have that, but you can at least have two guys that can spell each other and do that. You know what I'm saying? So I think, and plus their offense is like that to the point where it's pass dominant. So you just need to slide somebody in there. You know what I'm saying? It just happened that Mixon was just that good. You know what I'm saying? That
Hmm.
hurt. That hurts. But hey, not a bad pickup, man. You know what I'm saying? So um let me see who got the next pick, man.
You got the Rams at 19.
All right, so the Rams at 19, man. So the Rams is a good team, man. I don't know if they made the playoffs last year. I don't think so.
No,
Not
they
this.
did. I think they
They
did surprise. No,
made the
was it the year before?
playoffs.
Yeah, I think they
Um,
snuck in there. If I'm not, yeah, because
they
me
made
and
the
you
playoffs.
predicted them to be at the bottom, remember? And they surprised both
Yeah.
of us.
Okay. All right. All right. No. 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 All right. All right, so I'm going with not Cincinnati, but the Rams, right? So this pick's pretty easy for me, man. You just lost Aaron Donald, so it sucks, right? That's that's not an easy person to be losing, right? So I'm thinking you draft a guy to probably replace him on the inside, man. So I'm going with the 19th pick of the
Mm-hmm.
NFL draft. The Los Angeles Rams select Byron Mitchell. I think that's his name. Yeah. No, Byron Murphy. There we
Murphy.
go.
Murphy
Yeah,
from Texas,
Byron
huh?
Murphy. Yeah, from Texas, man. You know what I'm
Very good
saying?
fit.
Texas had a Texas had a really good season, man. You know what I'm saying? He's on like he's not a hefty like defensive lineman like your Vince Wilforks or whatever, or your DJ Readers, you know what I'm saying? But he's small enough to have enough wiggle to really mess up a game plan, you know what I'm saying? So I like that a lot, man. I like his fit with them because you don't really have to change much offensively because I feel like that's probably what got you to the playoffs in the first place. Now, you just lost Aaron Donald, man. So why not just get a defensive lineman, man? Plug him in there, let him learn, get his feet wet and just kind of play. You know what I'm saying? I like that a lot for them, man. So uh defense, man. Defense, I think that's a good pick for them.
I agree. I mean, yeah, they could have went offensive line, especially with Matthew Stafford getting up in age. But I think you need
Yeah.
another impact player on defense to make it easier for your offense. So Byron Murphy, I think he's a really good fit.
Yeah, man, look, I'm telling you, dog. I'm telling you that's I think they do that. They do that for real.
Cool.
Yep, yep,
So
yep.
with the 20th pick, we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers on the clock, man. Steelers have had a very eventful offseason, man. If you guys didn't already know, they got Russ earlier in the offseason. Then they made a surprise trade with the Chicago Bears, getting Justin Fields. So their quarterback position is very shored up.
Yeah.
They lost Deontay Johnson in free agency, which I kind of feel like hurts them. But they still have George Pickens to have Freiermuth. But I feel like you could go receiver here. I feel like you can either
No,
go with
you
another.
got to. You got
I feel
to.
like you either go receiver here or you
Yes, sir.
just try to get another anchor on the offensive line to protect one of those guys. But me
Bro.
personally, I think at 20, man, you need a receiver. And there is a studded receiver who slid
Jumping in.
all the way down to 20.
Yep.
And he could have been a top 10 pick if it wouldn't have fell this way. So, with the 20th pick in the 2024 NFL draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver, LSU.
What? Boo! Boo! Tomato, 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 bro. No. Why would you do that? No. No, 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 no. Boo. Tomato, 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 bro. No, no, no. I was thinking the same thing you was, bro.
I know who you're
No,
thinking. I feel like,
no.
and I'm gonna just throw a name out there, which is another name that could have gone right there. Donnie Mitchell from Texas.
No,
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 no.
no, no way, no, bro. The other dude from Texas, bro, Xavier Worthy. Come on,
Mm,
bro.
nah.
Oh my God, dog. No way. Come on, man. Think of everybody that has played receiver for Pittsburgh, bro.
Yeah, I know
Everybody.
your point. I know your point, and
Come
I don't
on,
see
man.
anything wrong with that. But I just don't.
Wallace. Wallace, Santonio Holmes,
I get it.
Antonio Brown,
I get it. But I think it's time for
Martavius
Pittsburgh to.
Bryant.
I think it's time for them to change it up, man. Thomas was dominant, man.
No, he
Deceptive
was.
speed, big hands,
Oh
great
man,
route runner, man. Like
I
I think
know,
he'd
but
be a
you
really good.
already got one of them. You got him at Pickens. Pickens is big, and he got good hands. You
Hey,
already got one. You need a chain mover, bro. You need not a chain mover. You need somebody to spread the defense, bro.
mm-hmm.
Like, oh no, man, no, bro. I can't believe you did me like that. I was so sure that you were gonna pick. who I pick at this spot, man. Oh man, okay, but that's cool because I get to pick him for the next one.
I do get where you're coming from, but I still
Yeah,
think they can
man.
make it work. Like, I just think he's a very valuable pick that year. And the fact that he slid this far, like, I don't see Xavier Worthy going high. I think he's gonna fall. I'm telling
Oh,
you.
oh
I'm
man.
telling you. I don't agree
No,
with it. I don't agree with it. I would take him high, but
no,
I don't
no,
see it, man. I don't
bro.
see it.
I'm telling you, dog. I'm
I
telling you.
agree. I
We're gonna
agree.
watch. We're gonna watch the draft, and if our schedules work out, man, we should just live stream this thing because I'm telling you, bro. Dude ran like a 4.21 or something like that. Something nasty, bro. And anybody that knows how the draft works, if you bust the combine up as far as speed, agility, or your leaping ability, or your strength, if you blow it up, a combine warrior, you definitely gonna move up the draft boards, bro. I seen it happen, dog. I seen it happen. Chris Johnson was one of them. Who's another one, dog, who blew up the combine, man? Dree Archer. Remember him? He blew up the
John
combine.
Ross.
John Ross blew up the combine, bro. So I'm telling you, dudes that another one that we don't even talk about enough. Vernon Davis, bro.
Yeah.
And not shout out to him, but I hope he's doing okay because his brother passed away. So prayers and condolences to his family out there, man. Hope they all right, man. Tough time for them, man. But Vernon Davis blew up the combine, bro. I'm talking about one of the probably the best combine for a tight end ever, bro. 4.4 speed, bro. At least a 40-inch vertical. And don't get me started on the agility drills, bro. Like, dude blew it up. So I think when you have a guy like Xavier Worthy, man, that blew up the combine, bro, somebody picking him, and it might be your Cincinnati Bengals, bro. I'm telling you, if he
Now
slipped that far,
I could see that.
bro.
I could see that. But I don't know, man. I just feel like Mike Tomlin's trying to do things differently now. Especially you've had this long stretch of just not gonna say mediocrity,
Yeah,
but I
I can
could
see
see
that.
him going outside of the norm and trying something different, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
I can feel them trying to get back to Pittsburgh Steelers football and start running that thing a little bit.
That
You know what I'm saying?
See, and
Because
then if
don't
you have
get
another bit, and then if you have another big body receiver, I mean, obviously, I know you got Pickens, but I just think Thomas is a real difference maker, man. Like, I understand he might not have the speed that Worthy has, but he's got good speed, man. And he led the nation in touchdowns for a reason. Like, the guy is a big difference maker, especially he can get to that second level, man. He can still take a top off a defense as well. So I do
see,
agree with your point, but
I forgot about him being like that part of their team. But he was good, man. He was good. I'm not even no disrespect, man. I didn't see him going that high. I seen him going maybe to my Ravens or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a player team like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that, hey, we just need a good player that we can play day one. You know what I'm saying? And he would be a good fit, man. But this was definitely early, but you surprised me with that one. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I was expecting receiver because I figured that's what they was gonna do at this point. But not Brian Thomas. Still expecting that. All right, all right, all right.
uh,
Nah, that's cool. That's cool.
you got Miami at 21. This is gonna be our last pick of the days, guys. So Cam's got to make this one count.
All right, so Miami, bro, they got a lot of stuff, man. A whole lot. I mean, offensively, that was my Super Bowl pick last season coming out of the AFC, man. Because obviously, y'all know if y'all watch this, I'm a Ravens fan, so it's hard not to pick the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl. But I felt like with Miami, that offense would be unstoppable. But their problems was defense, bro. They don't really need no more help on offense unless you take my guy Xavier Worthy right here, right? More speed, more fun, right? Nah, man. So I think they need help on the inside. They just lost They just lost Christian Watkins. I think that's his name. Wilkins. Yeah,
Yeah,
Christian Wilkins. They just lost him. So I'm going defense right here, and I'm going defensive line, bro. They need my boy Chop Robinson from Penn State, bro.
that's an impact player.
Chop Robinson from Penn State, man. I'm trying to pull up his measurables, man. Oh yeah, bro. 6'3", 240, 54 pounds, bro. Like, oh
Dude,
man.
he's a monster.
Yeah, bro. And his name is Chop, bro. Come on, man. How hard is that? Come on, man. That's what I'm thinking. The Dolphins, you need a guy, excuse me, you need a guy like that to really affect your defense, man. And having a guy like that, man, with those measurables, you can slide him inside and out, and he gonna be good for you. You know what I'm saying? So I like him. I like them taking Chop, man. Penn State with the 21st pick, man. But it's getting
I
good,
think,
man. It's getting good because the last of the playoff teams got some good players. And with the playoff teams, they ain't really drafting for the future. They trying to keep going,
yeah.
especially the Super Bowl winner. So they trying to keep going. So I like
No, I
that.
can't argue, man. He's got a lot of. It's kind of like how it's another Penn State comparison, but it's like how Michael Parsons was coming out of college. A lot of raw potential. They didn't always have the most to go off of, but dude, his intangibles and his statistics, like the guy was just off the charts. And I think this
Bro,
guy is going to be another guy just like that, just immediate impact player. You put him in on a defense like Miami, who really needs the help, he could be in there for defensive rookie of the year, like for sure. Like I would not be surprised if
nah,
that was the
man.
case.
Nah, man. Dude gonna be good on that team. Man. I like him a lot, man. And then to your point about Michael Parsons, he ran a 4.3, bro. Ran a 4.3. Like, and he could with his pass rush moves. You ain't stopping that. Your quarterback is toast, bro. Toast. If he get past your lineman, your quarterback is toast. I don't care if you have Michael Vick back there. He
Mm-mm.
ain't outrunning dude. Not a 4.3 lineman, bro. That's cheating. That's cheating, bro. Like,
I
come on,
agree.
man. That's cheating, dog. And if his hand in the dirt, that's even nastier, bro. Because if you got a tackle out there that got bad hips, oh man, that's horrible. He getting tossed. He getting turned around, man. He ain't gonna know where to look, And I hate for you to have him standing up, like, bro. Michael Parsons is crazy, bro. That boy, he's a true video game character, man. That he's cheating. You ain't supposed to have dudes that fast on defense, dog. That's nasty. Nasty, man. I like him though. Cause dude, man, Dallas, they just messing up, man. I can't wait for him to be a free agent. He gonna be like the highest paid lineman player ever. Like I would pay him anything that you want to pay him, bro. What Von Miller got, and I think he got like no sacks last season. Like, bro,
He got paid, bro, and he didn't do nothing.
nothing. So so if I'm Michael Parsons, I'm saying double that because I could double what he did. Zero. Like, bro, I
Dude.
ain't never I ain't never thought I'd say that about Von Miller, bro. Like not being able to get no sacks, bro. Never. Never, dog. Never, man. Him coming out of college was crazy, bro. Von Miller was good.
Oh
Von Miller
yeah.
was crazy good, bro. I was like, dude, who is this dude off the edge, man? Then you go and you team with DeMarcus Ware on the Broncos. Bro, nasty dog. And then he's Super Bowl MVP too. That's fire. Because
Mm-hmm.
defensive players don't really win, what I'm saying, all them awards and stuff.
Yep.
But it
And then
was
you go win a second Super Bowl with the Rams too, and be a key piece of that defense too.
bad. Bro, for him to get no sacks, man, that's sad. He should come out so mad next season and just try to sack everybody. Like at least get one. Just get one, bro. One. Nah, man. He too good not to do that, man. Now I get it. Maybe they was chipping him a lot, but that didn't matter, bro. No, 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 not matter. I'll be pissed off, dog, all off season, bro. I get none. Mm-mm. Nope, not good, man. But that was good, man. That was a good draft, man. Good draft, dog. Good draft.
Yeah. I mean, hey, guys, look, take it with a grain of salt. Like a lot of these places, like this is what I like, because it takes a lot out of a comfort zone, and you have to kind of think a little bit deeper and just think, okay, well, this is what we already expect to happen, but this is what pretty much Twilight Zone, to where imagine nothing crazy happens and you literally just have to take based off of needs and who's on the board and who's off the board. And I just think it really gives a different perspective. And before we go any further, though, let's just review. So, like I said before, we had picks 11 through 21 today. With
Mm.
the 11th pick, we had Minnesota taking Jaden Daniels, which was a great piece to lead their team going forward at the quarterback position. We
Bad.
had the Broncos with the 12th pick take Kenyon Mitchell from Toledo to shore up their secondary at corner. At
Mm.
13, we had the Raiders take Terry and Arnold to shore up their cornerback room as well. Another really good fit. At 14, we had New Orleans Saints take Joe Alt to help out their offensive tackle situation, which is very bad at the moment.
Yep.
At 15, we had Indianapolis take Graham Barton from Duke to shore up, get an anchor on their offensive line to protect Anthony Richardson.
Beef.
With 16, we had the Seattle Seahawks reach and take Bo Nix to get their quarterback of the future.
Yeah, that's reach, bro. Reach, man.
You got
But
to
hey,
take chances sometimes in these mocks, man. I've seen
we,
crazier.
yeah, I have to. So yeah, that's all right. That's all right, man. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. I can see it. Also, I can't see it.
With the 17th pick, we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars going defensive line, taking Byron Murphy from the University of Texas. Really
Yep.
good player to help ensure that defense plays a lot better this year. With pick 18, we have the Cincinnati Bengals going offensive line, taking Fashana out of Penn State. With 19, wait a minute. No, something's not right. Nope.
Yeah, because
Correct
I
me on
thought,
that.
yeah, because
Jacksonville took Latu.
yeah,
Correct me.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Latu
yeah,
went
yeah,
to
yeah.
Jacksonville. I had them
I was like,
flipped.
I was trying to think. I was like, man, wait a minute.
No,
I didn't,
no.
I didn't
So
pick him.
correct me, guys. I'm not gonna edit it out. We're just gonna go unfiltered. But yeah, Jacksonville had took Latu from UCLA.
Yeah,
Bengals had Fashanu from Penn State. The 19th pick had the LA Rams going Byron Murphy from
yeah,
Texas. Both
yeah.
defensive linemen, easy to get confused, but now we've got it corrected. Uh, with pick 20, we had the Steelers take Brian Thomas to ensure their wide receiver position gets filled.
Boo, boo,
Yep.
man, boo. No, they should boo that pick. They booing that pick at the wherever they having it at. They booing that pick.
Detroit.
Boo. Yeah, they booing that pick at Detroit. Boo. Actually, you know what? You know what? They probably not. They probably like, yay, because they mean they still got a chance to get somebody I picked.
There you go. And then
Yeah.
to finish out our 20, go up to the 21st pick, we had the Miami Dolphins taking Chad
Chop,
Robinson, edge rusher from Penn State.
chop.
Big difference maker and looked to be an immediate plug and play for the Miami Dolphins. So, and we
Yep.
will have the big board put on there. We'll have the one for the beginning of the video for picks 1 through 10. And I'm going to have a big board right here for picks 11 through 21. But guys, it's an awesome video being able to go back and forth with you. I hope you guys really enjoy it. Like I said, take it with a grain of salt. This is more like of having a good time and being able to discuss
Yep.
football and things like that. We could do a trade. We could do a lot of that, but it would take a lot more time and a lot more effort that we might not necessarily have. But I kind of want to leave that up to the draft to just see what kind of crazy things happen, because we know crazy things will happen. But
Mm.
it's good to take a different spin on things and just go straight talent, needs, draft order, and just go from there. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are not already subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to like the video. We do college, pro, draft, recruiting, what if scenarios. We're gonna end up dropping another fantasy draft video because the previous one that you guys have never seen got corrupted, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
okay because this one's gonna be way better for sure. It's gonna be more surprises and things like that. But like I said, don't forget to like, drop a comment, and if you already subscribed, hit that bell notification so you never miss a beat. All of our new videos and shorts. We try to go out weekly. sometimes multiple times weekly, especially our shorts. You guys really like those. Gonna continue to pump those out for you guys. But before we go any further, what you got, brother?
Hey man, this was fun, man. I really like this, man. Draft season is fire, man. But like I said, be on the lookout, man, because we're gonna get some more college in here, man. Spring ball is underway. Don't be surprised. You see some people that's not gonna play that much jump in that transfer portal, man. Some impact players gonna be moving, so I can't wait to get into that. But man, good episode, man. It was real fun. Yeah. And don't forget to like and subscribe, man. Come on, man. We do this.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, man. It's almost what we've been all doing this a year now, man. So like, hey, let's keep going, man. So
Hey man,
we
you guys have got us over 16,000, man. We're on the road to hit 20K. We would really appreciate, man. Like, we're willing to give you all the content you want. Just let us know what you like and what you don't like, and we'll pump it
yeah,
out to you guys as soon as possible. But
yeah,
that's the Football Frame of Mind podcast. This is our NFL mock draft. Like I said, next week will be picks 22 through 32 to finish out the first round. But my name's Brandon. His name's Cam. We'll see you guys next time. Strap in, get ready for the ride. It's the Football Frame of Mind podcast. You have a great day.